Hosting a party can get expensive real quick. It can be as much as $1,400 a year. Now, since one of the biggest food parties is next week, of course, Annie Taylor's here to talk about ways to save.
Most of the grocery store sales on Thanksgiving food started today, so we went to America's most frugal family for a strategy.
Now, I call it shared control because you want to have some say in it, but you want to let people make their own choices.
Steve and Annette, economists, say potlucks are the way to go, but offer guests the options on what to bring. Now, these are pictures from some of their past Thanksgivings. They say you can feed everyone for about $2 to $5 a person. Now, they take care of the turkey, so for size, estimate about 1 pound per person. They also take care of some of the main side dishes and delegate the rest.
They can literally go to the grocery store and pick up a frozen pie, which are delicious, by the way. The Marie Callender's frozen pies are delicious.
There's also a cost-efficient way to set up your Thanksgiving food, or if more people might show up than you expected.
Set up your buffet line in such a way that you start out with the side dishes and work your way towards the main dish.
Alcohol is another expensive party staple, and Steve and Annette have some ideas besides BYOB.
Limit your alcohol consumption to beer and wine or alcohol.
Or make a punch.
Yes.
And just kind of skimp on the alcohol, but put some in.
Yeah,
so
you can do a lightly spiked punch.
Well, the couple says you can delegate decorations too. A lot of the craft stores have Thanksgiving stuff on sale now because obviously they want to move it out quick and make space for Christmas and Black Friday. But you can find more of their cost-saving ideas on moneysmartfamily.com.
All right, Annie, thank you. And the Doors kind of give this one away, right? I mean, this has to be one of the coolest cars ever made. That's right. We're talking about the Delorean, and there are plans to start making new ones in the works right now. We're going to have more on that tomorrow here on The Now.
And show you live at the airport, Vice President Mike Pence taking plenty of time. He got off the plane probably 5 or 10 minutes ago and has been greeting folks that are at the airport. He will go downtown here shortly as an educational speech that at the Indiana Roof Ballroom. 43 and mostly cloudy for his arrival. We'll have showers during the day tomorrow. 54, windy and occasionally wet. As you look at the forecast into the weekend, it turns much cooler. That's all for the Now, Indy. The news at 6 starts right now.
This is RTV6 News at 6, working for you.
This pregnancy I've been so nervous and anxiety-ridden.
Pregnancy is in danger across Indiana. Many expectant mothers must drive longer than an hour to get basic care, and many babies are dying. Only on RTV6, the frightening reality and what's being done to save the lives of the unborn.
It absolutely just ruins families and ruins lives.
A grieving family with a message for everyone tonight. An accused drunk driver killed their son. What they want you to know.
Only on RTV6, lawmakers responding to a Call 6 story that uncovered dangerous conditions inside classrooms. Students hurting teachers. What legislators plan to do to fix this problem.
He was more than a dog to the city of Fishers. Tonight, a final goodbye for a canine officer killed in the line of duty.
Vice President Mike Pence back in Indiana. The reason for his midweek visit to Indianapolis. Good evening to you here at 6 o'clock. I'm Mark Mullins.
And I'm Amanda Starantino.
Indiana is in the midst of a crisis. Mothers and babies are dying at an alarming rate in our state.
And Governor Holcomb made reducing infant mortality one of his top priorities this year, as Indiana ranks one of the worst in the country.
Call 6 Investigates Stephanie Wade is here with us now.
And she traveled to communities impacted the most by this and is digging into why the Hoosier State is so dangerous for pregnant moms and unborn babies. Stephanie, what did you find out?
Mark and Amanda, one of the largest issues we face here in Indiana is our maternity care deserts. Listen to this. Data from the State Department of Health and the CIA show women in Iraq and the Gaza Strip have a better chance of surviving childbirth than women in the 33 Hoosier counties without a hospital or an OBGYN physician. Call 6 Investigates found thousands of women are having to travel out of county to be seen by a doctor, making them more at risk of death. It's a story you'll only see here on RTV6.
Today is the day
While nervous, you feel a sense of comfort, knowing you made it safely to the hospital and you're surrounded by doctors as you await your baby's arrival. Some might say this is what an ideal delivery looks like. But for women who live out here in rural communities, this might not be their childbirth story. Rather, theirs is filled with anxiety and the possibility of what can go wrong.
It's hard because we have to drive clear to Lafayette.
Ashley and Rodney Newkirk, expecting twins soon, live in Crawfordsville.
It's a good 45 minutes to the hospital that we'll be delivering at. And that goes the same for like a real ultrasound. We have to go for that 45 minutes as well to get the ultrasound tech.
For Caitlin Catterson, who lives just 30 minutes south in Waveland.
It's an hour and 15 minutes away. I'm going to be in labor on our way to the hospital.
Both women have a high-risk pregnancy.
I have pre-diabetes, but I think right now they're watching me to make sure that he doesn't develop gestational diabetes.
Both live in Montgomery County, one of the worst counties in the state with access to care. The only hospital there quit delivering babies back in 2011. For them, the nearest OBGYN is based in Lafayette in Tippecanoe County. That's where they'll have to travel to deliver their babies.
The ambulances were delivering babies tenfold from what we were when we delivered here.
Call 6 Investigates found 33 out of Indiana's 92 counties either have no hospitals or the hospital has no OB services where women can receive medical care before and after pregnancy, meaning women in more than a third of our state are living in maternity deserts.
The numbers of hospitals that actually provide OB care are decreasing, and then the acuity of our patients is going up. So it's like this perfect storm of worsening, more acute patients with less resources.
When you're living on an income that is not, substantial, and you have to make a decision between spending your gas money to go to the grocery store or going to an OB appointment, that's a decision.
Experts say we find ourselves in a statewide crisis where Indiana's maternal mortality rate is the 3rd highest in the nation, and our state's infant mortality is the 7th highest. Getting adequate prenatal care is critical in preventing death.
It is difficult to get good quality providers that want to come here and stay here.
So why are hospitals closing their doors? Turns out it all comes down to money.
NICUs are very expensive to staff, if you can find enough staff for them, so you have a shortage of neonatologists, and then the facility is excruciatingly expensive.
And there's just a lot of those hospitals that do not have the resources to do that.
People are coming up with their own solutions, though. Community paramedic Darren Foreman has decided if women can't get the care they need, he's going to bring it to them.
Tell me we can buy some prettier weather.
Darren leads Project Swaddle in Crawfordsville, where every week he drives 2 patients in rural areas and sees them at their home at no cost to the families.
Any problems?
And it's not just Darren. Franciscan health nurses based in Indianapolis have created their own training program for when things go wrong and you're an hour away from the nearest hospital. Training paramedics in rural communities using a breathing, high-tech mannequin to simulate real-life emergencies they'd experience in transit.
With a pregnant mom, she could deliver in the truck for them. She could have bleeding. I mean, there's just all kinds of stuff that they've got to be prepared to manage.
Because to them, leaving a gaping hole in services for women across the state.
This is not a problem that's going to go away.
And both programs I highlighted there, the Franciscan Health Paramedic Training and Project Swaddle, are both funded through grants they obtained on their own. They need more funding to help more communities throughout the state.
So, Stephanie, this is obviously a big issue. What is the state doing about it?
Well, I took what I found out through this investigation straight to the governor and the state health commissioner. And tomorrow night, right here on the news at 6, I'll show you what they had to say about what's being done to save more moms and babies.
Stephanie, thank you for that. And tonight, a grieving Indianapolis family is hoping to turn their heartache into an important warning for others. According to Mothers Against Drunk Driving, or MADD, drunk driving is the #1 cause of traffic deaths in America. Only on RTV6, Nicole Griffin sits down with a mother whose son was killed at the hands of an accused drunk driver.
In the spot where his last ride ended, flowers and a cross are placed by the side of the road, remembering Isaac Oldham.
He wasn't your typical 18-year-old kid. He had his stuff together. He knew what he was doing. He knew what he wanted to do.
Before graduating from Franklin Central High School in May, Isaac bought his first motorcycle.
He wouldn't tell me how much he paid for it, but he paid cash, his own money, and he was really proud of that.
But just months later, on September 26th, he was out riding, and his young life was cut short. Just minutes from home on Shelbyville Road and 5 Points Road on the southeast side, court documents say the driver of an SUV ran a stop sign and crashed into him.
When you have kids, you think about getting phone calls like that, but you never really think it's going to happen.
Isaac died here at the scene of the crash. The other driver involved in the crash is a 39-year-old woman who was arrested for operating a vehicle while intoxicated. Court documents show her blood alcohol concentration was .175. That's more than double the legal limit.
I mean, it is 100% avoidable and preventable, and it should have never happened.
Now Isaac's family is pushing to bring awareness to the impact drinking and driving has on so many families.
I know there's nothing that's going to change how it affected us, but to stop it from affecting other people is a big goal.
It shouldn't happen. It doesn't have to happen. There are too many options. Uber, Lyft, taxi. It kills way too many people.
In his memory, Isaac's family is now working with Mothers Against Drunk Driving to get better laws passed and educate lawmakers when it comes to drinking and driving. Working for you on the southeast side, Nicole Griffin, RTV6.
And tomorrow night at Chick-fil-A on Southport Road, there's a fundraiser from 4 to 8 p.m. for Isaac. The family is hoping to raise money for a memorial bench at the Kroger he worked at, as well as money for a scholarship in his name. They also will be passing out information from Mothers Against Drunk Driving in an effort to prevent other deaths caused by drunk drivers.
Do you feel like teacher safety also needs to be addressed?
Well, I think everyone's safety should be addressed.
State lawmakers are responding to a Call 6 investigation that found dangerous conditions inside Indiana classrooms. Our Kara Kenny uncovered hundreds of teachers injured on the job. Tonight, she explains what legislators plan to do about the problem.
More than 300 teachers have filled out our survey. And take a look at this green right here. That's student behavior. That's what teachers say is the biggest problem that they're facing in Indiana. And nearly all teachers told us that the legislature and schools need to do a better job of addressing their safety.
Our Call 6 investigation into teachers injured on the job struck a nerve. Hundreds of Indiana educators went online to fill out our survey and told us in their own words. One teacher suffered 3 concussions due to being hit, punched, and kicked. Another says a student grabbed and drug her and that she was sexually assaulted. And one teacher says she was urinated on by a student. The Senate Education Committee chair told us he was unaware of a problem surrounding teacher injuries.
This is the first anybody's ever said anything to me about it, so I've not had any conversation about it to this point.
Do you feel like teacher safety also needs to be addressed?
Well, I think everyone's safety should be addressed. You know, when we look at trauma that students are dealing with at home, when families are dealing with poverty, all of these issues have to be addressed holistically.
Call 6 found a lack of counselors in many Indiana schools.
Many of these districts can't fund these positions, and we have to do what we can in the State House to make sure that we provide that support.
Teachers say large class sizes is also a factor.
But that's a budget issue, but it also tends to be a school decision in terms of how you want to utilize the resources.
Is there anything that can be done legislatively to address teacher safety when it comes to students?
Well, we constantly, I think that one thing we need to do is focus on social emotional learning and making mental health services for students.
70% of teachers told us they have witnessed a student physically assault a teacher, and 53% told us they had personally been injured on the job. I'm Call 6 Investigates, Kara Kenny.
The Indiana State Teachers Association is working on legislation that will address teacher safety.
One last goodbye for a dog that spent his life protecting people in the city of Fishers. K-9 Officer Harley killed in the line of duty last week. RTV6's Cornelius Hawker is at the Harley's memorial service at Fishers High School.
Right now, people are about to get seated as the memorial service for Fishers PD K9 Harley gets underway. Harley served the community here for 4 years, and not only with the police department, but also by going out to different schools and making friends with all the kids he met. Law enforcement from across the state have come to pay their respects, bringing their K9 officers as well. And here's video of K9 Harley's family coming in. Such an emotional time for all of them as they deal with this loss, getting support from the community. Now, if you can't be here, we will be streaming the memorial service live over on the RTV6 Facebook page. Working for you in Fishers, I'm Cornelius Hawker for RTV6.
Cornelius, thank you. Vice President Mike Pence is back in Indianapolis tonight. Air Force Two landed at Indianapolis International Airport just after 5:30. You're looking at that video as he exited the plane. The Vice President is scheduled to speak at the Strata Education Network National Symposium at 6:30. He may be a little late since he was late landing at the airport. We do want to give you a live look at the Indianapolis Ballroom. That's where the symposium is being held and located. The Strata Education Network is a nonprofit corporation based in Indianapolis. It helps students transition into college, trade school, or other post-high school educational opportunities. Again, Pence will be speaking here around 6:30 or soon after that. This week, we're focusing on dirty jobs.
Even though these careers are not glamorous, they can be lucrative.
Yeah, I tagged along with a trash pickup route. You may be surprised at the technology involved when it comes to picking up trash.
And I'm Dave First, live at Bankers Life Fieldhouse. Special night tonight, the annual Come to Our House Thanksgiving dinner from the Pacers. But then again, the whole season is the holiday season. The Sports Extra Spotlight coming up.
And rain, just one of the many things on the weather menu. Rain chances increase tomorrow. We'll have that timing, and we'll talk about a storm system next week just before Thanksgiving.
For less at Ross. Yes, for less.
This is RTV6 News at 6, working for you.
This week, hiring Hoosiers is getting down and dirty, rolling up our sleeves to take on those jobs that some may call gross or nasty.
Yeah, but those same jobs can be lucrative. RTV6 tagged along on the trash pickup route with Leon Baker from Waste Management. He's been with the company for 15 years, hauling away garbage from Indianapolis neighborhoods. He remembers those days when sanitation workers had to brave the weather conditions, follow behind a slow-moving truck, lift heavy trash cans, and put a strain on their bodies. However, thanks to technological advances on garbage trucks, the industry has changed. From his truck cab, Leon can collect trash and cover a larger neighborhood alone in a fraction of the time. And no more bringing home a foul stench.
They get hired here, or any trash company for that matter. Be patient. Don't rush yourself. Don't let other people rush you. Just be patient. Realize that it's a good job. And you can make really good money, provide for your family doing this.
Waste Management says starting pay is between $20 to $30 an hour. If you want to check out local sanitation companies hiring, we posted links in this story at our website, hiringhoosiers.com.
Clouds are in place. Now we wait for our next round of showers, probably till after midnight. You can see the storm system winding up to the south and west. Will bring rain back to the Hoosier State, most likely tomorrow. Not an all-day rain, but periods of rain. You'll definitely want the umbrella. Still lingering chance for rain Friday morning, and then Friday night into Saturday, another round, potentially mixing with some snow. Thanksgiving week, of course, huge travel week, and it looks like Tuesday into Wednesday we'll have a storm system to talk about, and it will wind up and bring with it rain, potentially some snow on the backside, and a wind that will be quite strong. Right now, we're on the mild side of the storm system. Tuesday into Wednesday, the cooler air will filter in back behind it. We'll keep our eye on that storm system, especially for those of you traveling by car through the Midwest. Temperature, 44 in Indy, changing very little for the rest of the evening hours. What will change tonight, the wind will start to increase, especially after midnight. We'll begin to see 20-mile-per-hour gusts. Clouds stay with us through the evening. Temperature still at 43. Tomorrow morning, there are the showers for the morning drive. More widespread midday, still around as we get to the evening hours. But as you can see, the intensity letting up just a little bit. Should not have the rain gauge overflowing. Quarter of an inch or less, in some cases 1/10 of an inch of rain or less. There's the strong wind out of the south-southwest, some gusts 35 miles per hour, maybe a little stronger. that will boost the temperature because it's a warm direction. We have to overcome the showers and the clouds, but I think we'll do that at least to get into the 50s. Friday, we'll stay in the 40s. Showers around possibly in the morning, then we dry out as we get to Friday night football. Last night for outdoor games. They'll go inside Lucas Oil next week. Temperatures in the 30s for the game. Into the weekend we go. Saturday could see a little rain-snow mix as cooler air catches the moisture. 42 for the high. Dry Sunday and Monday, and then that storm system we talked about on Tuesday and Wednesday. Dave is at Bankers Life Fieldhouse tonight. Dave?
Yeah, busy sports day. Thanks, Kevin. And a busy IndyCar offseason continues today. Ed Carpenter Racing announcing that Rinus VeeKay will join the team to drive the number 21 full-time next season. The Dutch driver won 6 times in the Lower Indy Lights Series last season. Finished on the podium 14 of the 18 races. He brings Jumbo Supermarkets as a sponsor. It's a Dutch brand. Of course, the 2020 season begins in March on the streets of St. Petersburg, Florida. Hey, good evening to you. Dave First live at Bankers Life Fieldhouse. As mentioned, the annual Come to Our House Pacers Thanksgiving dinner, serving some 800 from area missions and various homeless shelters as well. So a very nice night. Pacers off until Saturday, where they host the Magic. So that means a couple of days for both Justin and Aaron Holiday to really digest what happened on Monday. The first set of brothers in NBA history to both score over 20 in an NBA game. It is truly the holiday season, though, in the sports sector spotlight. This season, regardless of the time of year, there's a good chance it's a holiday for the Pacers. Justin Holiday teamed up with younger brother Aaron, and it means more than you might think.
For me, it's a big deal for me. And me and Aaron being 7 years apart, I didn't get to see him play in high school at times. I didn't get to see him play in college much, when I was overseas, all those different things. So to be able to play with him and spend time with him is the blessing I'm so thankful for.
Justin figures he only saw Aaron play once in high school, just twice in college, and now it's like he's looking over his shoulder all the time.
I mean, all his life, he's somebody that you can look to lead you and just help you through certain things. And being around the league for a little while, he obviously knows the ropes, and he can help up our young guys and just vets as well.
For head coach Nate McMillan, it's a whole new twist to the team's chemistry. Keeping it light.
Make sure that they're not around, because it's 2 of them when you're talking about them.
Because it gets back?
No, you're right. It might get back.
But teams are best when leadership comes from within. We are one is the slogan, and Nate's seeing it firsthand.
Justin knows the game, that he will get on Aaron about what to do. Today, Aaron was complaining about a call or a no call, and Justin, snatched him up and pushed him down the floor. Play. So he's been really good.
So there may not be many days off this season, but there's a holiday here and there.
What are you learning about Aaron?
Nothing. I mean, we're always close, but nothing. Aaron's Aaron. I mean, he, as far as basketball goes, he's going to compete. He wants to kill you. He wants to stop you.
Oh, that's good.
And it's good, all right, with no complaints during the season of holidays.
It's not every day you can wake up and play with your brother in the NBA. To have my brother here, going on road trips, we can, like I said, we'll be able to hang out. Even like today, we play with each other on the same team. I've always said, my most comfortable games are when I'm playing against my brothers, and now I'm playing with one, so that's even more comfortable.
Remember, there's also a third Holiday. Drew Holiday plays for the Pelicans, 14 months younger, though, than Justin. Those two are always closer growing up. That's changing now that Aaron and Justin are together with the Pacers. Busy night of college basketball that includes IU. Highlights tonight on the news at 11. Meantime, the news at 6 continues after this quick timeout.
Orange Steakhouse. You can't fake steak.
Again, showers around tomorrow. Not expecting heavy rainfall. Generally, 1/4 of an inch or less, and many of us will have just 1/10 of an inch or so. Temperatures warmest that they'll be until early next week. 54 degrees. Very windy. Then we're much cooler Friday through the weekend. That's what's ahead.
That's the latest on that. Thanks for joining us here for RTV6 News at 6 o'clock.
We'll be back here at 7. See you then.